Part 5 of American Cookery by Amelia Simmons. This recording is in the public domain. Cake. Plum cake. Mix 1 pound currants, 1 dram nutmeg, mace and cinnamon each, a little salt, 1 pound of citron, orange peel candied, and almonds bleached, 6 pound of flour, well dried, beat 21 eggs, and add with 1 quart new ale yeast, half pint of wine, 3 half pints of cream and raisins. Plain Cake. 9 pound of flour, 3 pound of sugar, 3 pound of butter, 1 quart emptins, 1 quart milk, 9 eggs, 1 ounce of spice, 1 gill of rose water, 1 gill of wine. Another. 3/4 of a pound of sugar, 1 pound of butter, 6 eggs worked into 1 pound of flour. A rich cake. Rub 2 pound of butter into 5 pound of flour, add 15 eggs, not much beaten, 1 pint of emptins, 1 pint of wine, knead up stiff like biscuit, cover well and put by and let rise over night. To 2 1/2 pound raisins add 1 gill brandy to soak over night, or if new half an hour in the morning, add them with 1 gill rose water and 2 1/2 pound of loaf sugar, 1 ounce cinnamon, work well and bake as loaf cake No. 1. Potato Cake. Boil potatoes, peel and pound them, add yolks of eggs, wine and melted butter, work with flour into paste, shape as you please, bake and pour over these melted butter, wine and sugar. Johnny Cake or Hoe Cake. Scald 1 pint of milk and put to 3 pints of Indian meal and half pint of flour, bake before the fire, or scald with milk 2/3 of the Indian meal, or wet 2/3 with boiling water, add salt, molasses and shortening, work up with cold water pretty stiff, and bake as above. Indian Slapjack. 1 quart of milk, 1 pint of Indian meal, 4 eggs, 4 spoons of flour, little salt, beat together, bake on griddles, or fry in a dry pan, or baked in a pan which has been rubbed with suet, lard or butter. Loaf Cakes. No. 1. Rub 6 pound of sugar, 2 pound of lard, 3 pound of butter into 12 pound of flour, add 18 eggs, 1 quart of milk, 2 ounces of cinnamon, 2 small nutmegs, a teacup of coriander seed, each pounded fine and sifted, add 1 pint of brandy, half a pint of wine, 6 pound of stoned raisins, 1 pound of emptins. First having dried your flour in the oven, dry and roll the sugar fine, rub your shortening and sugar half an hour, it will render the cake much whiter and lighter. Heat the oven with dry wood for 1 1/2 hours, if large pans be used, it will then require 2 hours baking, and in proportion for smaller loaves. To frost it, whip 6 whites during the baking, add 3 pound of sifted loaf sugar, and put on thick as it comes hot from the oven. Some return the frosted loaf into the oven, it injures and yellows it. If the frosting be put on immediately, it does best without being returned into the oven. Another. No. 2. Rub 4 pound of sugar, 3 1/2 pound of shortening, half butter and half lard, into 9 pound of flour, 1 dozen of eggs, 2 ounces of cinnamon, 1 pint of milk, 3 spoonfuls coriander seed, 3 gills of brandy, 1 gill of wine, 3 gills of emptins, 4 pounds of raisins. Another. No. 3. 6 pound of flour, 3 of sugar, 2 1/2 pound of shortening, half butter, half lard, 6 eggs, 1 nutmeg, 1 ounce of cinnamon, and 1 ounce of coriander seed, 1 pint of emptins, 2 gills brandy, 1 pint of milk, and 3 pounds of raisins. Another. No. 4. 5 pound of flour, 2 pound of butter, 2 1/2 pounds of loaf sugar, 2 1/2 pounds of raisins, 15 eggs, 1 pint of wine, 1 pint of emptins, 1 ounce of cinnamon, 1 gill rose water, 1 gill of brandy, baked like No. 1. Another plain cake. No. 5. 2 quarts milk, 3 pound of sugar, 3 pound of shortening, warmed hot, add a quart of sweet cider, this curdle, add 18 eggs, allspice and orange to your taste, or fennel, caraway or coriander seeds, put to 9 pounds of flour, 3 pints emptins, and bake well. Cookies. 1 pound sugar boiled slowly in half pint water, scum well and cool, add 2 teaspoons pearl ash dissolved in milk, then 2 1/2 pounds flour, rub in 4 ounces butter and 2 large spoons of finely powdered coriander seed, wet with above. Make rolls half an inch thick, and cut to the shape you please. Bake 15 or 20 minutes in a slack oven, good 3 weeks. Another Christmas Cookie. To 3 pound flour, sprinkle a tea cup of fine powdered coriander seed, rub in 1 pound butter, and 1 1/2 pound sugar, dissolve 3 teaspoonfuls of pearl ash in a tea cup of milk, knead all together well, roll 3/4 of an inch thick, and cut or stamp into shape and size you please, bake slowly 15 or 20 minutes, though hard and dry at first, if put into an earthen pot and dry cellar or damp room, they will be finer, softer and better when 6 months old. Molasses Gingerbread. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, some coriander or allspice, put to 4 teaspoons pearl ash, dissolved in half pint water, 4 pound flour, 1 quart molasses, 4 ounces butter, if in summer, rub in the butter, if in winter, warm the butter and molasses and pour it to the spiced flour. Knead well till stiff, the more the better, the lighter and whiter it will be. Bake brisk 15 minutes, don't scorch. Before it is put in, wash it with whites and sugar beat together. Gingerbread Cakes, or butter and sugar gingerbread. No. 1. 3 pounds of flour, a grated nutmeg, 2 ounces ginger, 1 pound sugar, 3 small spoons pearl ash dissolved in cream, 1 pound butter, 4 eggs, knead it stiff, shape it to your fancy, bake 15 minutes. Soft gingerbread to be baked in pans. No. 2. Rub 3 pounds of sugar, 2 pounds of butter into 4 pounds of flour, add 20 eggs, 4 ounces ginger, 4 spoons rose water, bake as No. 1. Butter Drop. No. 3. Rub 1/4 pound butter, 1 pound sugar, sprinkled with mace, into 1 pound and a quarter flour, add 4 eggs, 1 glass rose water, bake as No. 1. Gingerbread. No. 4. 3 pound sugar, half pound butter, 1/4 pound of ginger, 1 dozen eggs, 1 glass rose water, rub into 3 pounds flour, bake as No. 1. A cheap seed cake. Rub 1 pound sugar, half an ounce allspice into 4 quarts flour, into which pour 1 pound butter melted in 1 pint milk, 9 eggs, 1 gill emptins, caraway seed and currants or raisins if you please. Make into 2 loaves, bake 1 1/2 hour. Queen's Cake. Whip half pound butter to a cream, add 1 pound sugar, 10 eggs, 1 glass wine, half gill rose water, and spices to your taste, all worked into 1 1/4 pound flour, put into pans, cover with paper, and bake in a quick well heat oven 12 or 16 minutes. Pound Cake. 1 pound sugar, 1 pound butter, 1 pound flour, 1 pound or 10 eggs, rose water 1 gill, spices to your taste, watch it well, it will bake in a slow oven in 15 minutes. Another called Pound Cake. Work 3/4 pound butter, 1 pound of good sugar, till very white, whip 10 whites to a foam, add the yolks and beat together, add 1 spoon rose water, 2 of brandy, and put the whole to 1 1/4 pound flour, if yet too soft, add flour and bake slowly. Soft Cakes in little pans. 1 1/2 pound sugar, 1/2 pound butter, rubbed into 2 pounds flour, add 1 glass wine, 1 ditto rose water, 18 eggs and a nutmeg. A light cake to bake in small cups. 1/2 pound sugar, 1/2 pound butter, rubbed into 2 pounds flour, 1 glass wine, 1 ditto rose water, 2 ditto emptins, a nutmeg, cinnamon and currants. Shrewsbury cake. 1 pound butter, 3/4 of a pound sugar, a little mace, 4 eggs mixed and beat with your hand till very light, put the composition to 1 pound flour, roll into small cakes, bake with a light oven. N.B. In all cases where spices are named, it is supposed that they be pounded fine and sifted. Sugar must be dried and rolled fine. Flour dried in an oven. Eggs well beat or whipped into a raging foam. Diet bread. 1 pound sugar, 9 eggs, beat for an hour. Add to 14 ounces flour, spoonful rose water, 1 ditto cinnamon or coriander, bake quick. Rusk to make. No. 1. Rub in 1/2 pound sugar, 1/2 pound butter, to 4 pound flour, add pint milk, pint emptins, when risen well, bake in pans 10 minutes fast. No. 2. 1 pound sugar, 1 pound butter, 6 eggs, rubbed into 5 pounds flour, 1 quart emptins, and wet with milk sufficient to bake as above. No. 3. 1 pound sugar, 1 pound butter, rubbed into 6 or 8 pounds of flour, 12 eggs, 1 pint emptins, wet soft with milk and bake. No. 4. P.C. rusk. Put 15 eggs to 4 pounds flour and make into large biscuit, and bake double or one top of another. No. 5. 1 pint milk, 1 pint emptins, to be laid over night in sponge. In morning melt 3/4 of a pound butter, 1 pound sugar in another pint of milk, add lukewarm, and beat till it rise well. No. 6. 3/4 of a pound butter, 1 pound sugar, 12 eggs, 1 quart milk, put as much flour as they will wet, a spoon of cinnamon, gill emptins, let it stand till very puffy or light, roll into small cakes, and let it stand on oiled tins while the oven is heating, bake 15 minutes in a quick oven, then wash the top with sugar and whites while hot. Biscuit. 1 pound flour, 1 ounce butter, 1 egg, wet with milk and break while oven is heating, and in the same proportion. Butter biscuit. 1 pint each, milk and emptins, laid into flour, in sponge. Next morning add 1 pound butter melted, not hot, and knead into it as much flour as will, with another pint of warmed milk, be of a sufficient consistence to make soft. Some melt the butter in the milk. A butter drop. 4 yolks, 2 whites, 1 pound flour, 1/4 of a pound butter, 1 pound sugar, 2 spoons rose water, a little mace, baked in tin pans. End of Part 5 of American Cookery, by Amelia Simmons.